Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our Surah Ar-Rahman, session number 3. And session number 123 for our Quranic Arabic grammar. So let's start. Bismillah. So usually this is session number 4 for our Surah Ar-Rahman. So let's start with our verses for today. So the last time, in our last session, we have gone over the verse number 13, and we have learned that ayyi, the word ayyi, can have different roles in Quran. The two you already knew. You all know that ayyi is a word that is mudaf, that you have learned in the very beginning of learning your grammar. The second role is that it performs is that it is one of the istifham as well. It is one of the ism istifham. Everyone is well aware of that. The third role that it can also perform in Quran in Arabic language is it can be a condition particle. It can be a condition particle that sets a condition, and it is among those condition particles that can make mudare majzoom after it. Everyone with me so far? If yes, type 1. I did not go over fa that was seen in the beginning of the verse, considering that it will be too much for one session. So just so that we can keep things easy, we are going to just go slowly. Okay. Then we learned in this verse number 13, bi ayyi ala'i rabbikuma is jar wal majroor, beginning as jar wal majroor, and then we saw many idafas there, right? Ayyi ala'i one idafa, ala'i rabbikuma another idafa, and rabbikuma another idafa. So I hope this was clear to each and every one of you. If you see a jar wal majroor in jumla failya, which it is, tukazibani, what is going to be the label for that al jar wal majroor? What is that fragment? Is it going to be mutalik bil fail or mutalik bil khabar? What should you call that? Easy question. And we are going to go step by step. And I am expecting everyone to answer, because this is not an advanced question. Okay. This is a very simple, anyone who is ready to attempt a surah must know that in case of jumla failure, if you see any jar wal majroor, you are going to just make it mutalik bil fail in case of jumla failure. In case of jumla ismiya, you call it mutalik bil khabar, right? And here, yes, your mutalik will fail. Here is muqaddam. Mutalik will fail is muqaddam, because this is so very important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to focus on this part first before even you go to the part of denial. Before it has been put before your fail itself, because it is so very important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing it forward. There is a taqdeem that has been done for more and more emphasis, right? It has been done for, more emphasis, or and also, just focus on this. This is so very important, right? And then we learned tukazibani is fail mudari, and everyone is able to identify it as failun mudari by the sign. There is always a sign before every fail mudari that makes it failul mudari. And who knows the signs of failul mudari? Those are hamza, noon, ta, ya, right? Hamza, noon, ta, ya, right? And then we went on to see the pronoun in the fail, and the every fail has a pronoun. Sometimes they are visible and sometimes they are going to be hidden. And here, since our class has learned how you can identify a pronoun, they were able to call alif as a pronoun that is visible. And when something is visible, you call it baris. The Arabic for something visible is baris. And when it is baris, you are able to identify that there is aliful isnain, that is a pronoun, and noon is there to tell you what. What is the role of noon? And I want the new students to answer. Noon is for rough, right? So if it is telling you the status of the fail is rough, can I call it nunu rough? Can I give it a name, nunu rough? Or nunul Arab, because Arab means status. So if anything is telling me the status of the fail, and by dropping that noon, the status changes, can I call it nunul Arab or nunul rough? Hmm? I can, right? I can call it nunul rough. Both names are right. Okay. You will find some books saying nunul rough. They will just call it rough because it makes your fail rough, and some will call it Arab because its presence and absence change the status of the fail. Barakallahu fiki for writing those two names so that everyone knows what is the name of the noon that makes mudare marfu. In case of antunna and hunna fail mudare, that noon is not going to be rough, and that is why when your fail mudare that has pronoun hunna and antunna, it does not change. It remains unchanged in mudare, majzoom, mansoob, and marfu form. It is very non-flexible. Did you notice that? Like if you have yansurna, tansurna, it's not going to drop its noon. Never, because that noon is no another noon. That is a pronoun that tells you that they female plural, they feminine plural have done the action. Okay. So inshallah, we have another session coming up in which everyone is going to be taught how to identify one noon from another noon. What is this alif and what is this waw? What is this ya? That is so easy, and it's going to be taught to you. And just like our students have learned it, everyone is going to learn it, inshallah. And you just have to have a right frame of mind, and you should just have to have a niyyah for that, inshallah. Okay. So now, moving forward, we are going to go on to verse number 14. I would want each and every one of you to attempt verse number 14. Your verse starts with khalaqa. Among the three types of words, is it ism, fail, harf? Number one, it is fail, and I can see the answers are coming. It is fail madin or mudari. Why are you calling it madin? If I ask you to pick from fail madin and mudari, why mudari? Not mudari. Yes, because there is no sign of mudari. Your answer is very simple. I am not expecting a very difficult answer from here. I'm not asking you to write an um, uh, article on this. No, very simple. You are going to simply say, Sister Saima, do you see any sign of fail mudari here? You don't. So that is why I'm calling it fail madin. Okay. Now, when it comes to the doer, every fail has a doer. And this is a stepwise approach that our students attempt it. Any fail, they see a jumla failure in the beginning of the verse. They start thinking about jumla failure, and after finding the fail, they look for the file. That is, every teacher teaches you this. This is not rocket science, right? This is just the basics of grammar. So there is a doer for every fail, but there is not a fail without a doer, or there is not a fail without a pronoun in real sense. Okay, because sometimes the fail can be passive, and the passive will not have a doer. Its doer is unknown. Its doer is majhul in Arabic. But here khalaqa, it has a doer, and this doer I am not able to see. It is inside. It is an inside doer. Very well done. This one is an inside doer because I cannot see it. It is hidden. When it is hidden, the hidden something what is hidden is called mustatir. Okay, it is called mustatir. When something is hidden, it is mustatir, and the mustatir pronoun here is huwa. Everyone agrees. Type 1 if you all agree. There are many people who have signed in with two, one person has signed in through two accounts so that they can answer easily. So, but I want everyone to please stay active in this class, because this is a very interactive session. It's always a very interactive session, and that is how we do the class here. Okay, so al insana, you see, you have determined now. Everyone is with me, and my students have already determined that fail and file, done job. After khalaqa, Should I look for an outside doer since there is a hua inside it? A very basic question. Yes, I do. Does every fail with the mir mustatir hua have an outside doer? Will every fail have an outside doer? No, it's not always going to be there, right? Sometimes I will find it, sometimes I may not find it, and that's quite okay with it. And I'm very comfortable with that, right? Okay. Now look at al insana. What is al insana giving you an information about? You have an action, you have a fail, you have a file, and now comes your detail. And that detail in Arabic is called maf'ul. And this is a maf'ul that is answering your what or who question. And the maf'ul that is most common is maf'ulun bihi, and that is the maf'ul that answers your what and who questions, right? In Arabic, what is called ma and who is called man. Okay, if you want to sound very smart, you can also say that this maf'ulun bihi, answers my ma and man questions. Okay, then comes min salsalin. What is this? Min salsalin. It is going to be, first of all, jar wal majroor, step by step. Jar wal majroor, and then the next step is going to be, since it is in Jumla failure, I'm going to call it Mutalik will fail, and that is the correct answer at this stage. Okay, I'm not going to hold you accountable if someone says anything Mutalik will fail, and when it can be something else. I'm okay with that for now. Okay, but later on, in 30 sessions from now or 100 sessions from now, I may not be. Okay, when we'll be doing another surah. Okay, now, my dear students, when you see a common fail, salsalin, kalfakhar, and you are seeing another kalfakhar. What is kalfakhar? Give me jar wal majroor. Jar wal majroor, very well done. Okay, now when I see a common ism, I must stop. Stop. I will make a stop here. Common ism followed by a jumla ismiya, followed by jumla failure, followed by jar wal majroor fragment or shubu jumla otherwise. Or there is one more. An ism that is, similar to it can be a possibility as well. There can be a possibility of mawsoof sifa. Can I say kal fakhar, a complex sifa? A complex sifa for salsalin, my dear students? Yes or no? And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, and those who have already undergone, and because this was something assigned to you all, that you were all supposed to do. And ma'us sifa, ism can have a mufrad ism as a sifa, just like al kitab al mustabeen. All properties matching, nothing complicated. All four properties matching, you are going to call simple mawsoof sifa. Then comes shubu jumla, which can be jar wal majroor or zarf. Jar wal majroor or zarf. Okay, a noun of time or place. Kitabum min indillahi, a book from Allah. When I say a book from Allah, is it any book I'm talking about? Or I have specified, I have given you a description, I have given you a sifa for the book. It is a number one, it's a specific book now I'm talking about, right? And that is why that is why you are allowed to have a common ism as a mubtada when it has a sifa along with it, because the ism is now it has become specific. It's not abadun mu'minun, is not any abad. It is now a believing slave, right? So it is allowed for it to be as mubtada as well, but that isn't for another day. We have covered it in the previous session. But kitabum min indillahi, my dear students, you got the description. A boy from USA. From USA, can it be the sifa for boy? Yes or no? Yes. A girl from Quran class. Can it be the sifa? From Quran class be the sifa? Just like that. Just like that. Salsalin kal fakhar. Salsalin kal fakhar is the sifa for salsal. Okay? And then in waw sifa, you will also see a whole sentence can be a sifa. Kitabun anzalnahu, a book we have revealed. A book that we have revealed to you, that is blessed. So here, in case of kitabun Anzalnahu alayka, a book that we have revealed to you. Blessed. So there is once a complete sentence coming up. Anzalnahu alayk is a complete jumla failure coming up as a sifa for kitab, and then a simple sifa is also coming there, which is this book is mubarak, right? It is a mufrad sifa too, right? You have both examples in this verse. Then comes another example, yawmun la bay'un fi, a day. There is no transaction, there's no trade in it. Wala khulla, no friendship. Wala shafa'a. Now the day has been explained by jumla ismiya. Jumla ismiya, like la bay'un mubtada. Bay'un mubtada fihi mutalik bil khabar, right? Waw, at, la khullatun wala shafa'atun. Through at, everything is connected. Everyone with me, if you are with me or if you are sleeping, wake up, type 1. Okay. I'm going to take you back to the slide again, and I am going to call this as Mausuf Sifa, and this completes your whole verse. Okay, I hope everyone is with me. He created the insan from salsal like fakhar. Okay, and this is all one sentence. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to say, وَخَلَقَ الْجَانِ. Oh, now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not talking about insan anymore. Who comes now? Now comes your jinn. How did he created them? Khalaqa. Khalaqa. Again, fail wa fa'il. Fail wa fa'il. Your fail is khalaqa, fail madin. There is no sign of mudare. You are going to call it fail madin. You don't see any doer. Do you? You don't see any doer. Just like first khalaqa, the doer is damir mustatir huwa. Damir mustatir huwa is the doer. Al-jan. Al-janna. There is a fatha at the end of the word. What is al-jan doing there? It is going to be in jumla failure. You have fail, file, maf'ul. Fail, file, maf'ul. So al-jan is going to be your maf'ul. What kind of a maf'ul? The most common is maf'ulun bihi, and you don't just go by most common. You can have maf'ul fihi, you can have maf'ul ma'ahu, you can have maf'ul mutlaq, but it is answering your he created who, he created what, right? He created jinns. Okay, he created jinns, right? So it is answering your ma and man questions. Therefore, you are going to call it maf'ulun bihi. Mim marijin, from marriage. So now it is going to be mutalik bil fail. Marijim min nar. Now again, marijim min nar. Stop. Same. Commonism followed by jar wal majroor. Commonism followed by jar wal majroor is going to be your complex mausuf sifa. So now every sifa, what have we learned in mausuf sifa? What is the prerequisite for any fragment to be mausuf sifa? For any mausuf sifa, what do we look for? There is an ism and there is another ism that are matching in all 4 properties. They are matching in all 4 properties. I have not learned 5 properties. Where this 5 is, am I missing something? Okay. Huh? All 4 properties are going to match. All 4 properties are going to match. Okay. So, but when something is like jar wal majroor or a sentence, is it taking place of something that was jar there? Did it come in the place of something? Did it took the place of something that was supposed to be jar? Yes or no? What do you think? No, it did not. If a sentence is coming as a sifa, whatever the status of mausuf is, the status of the sentence will be the same. However, because it's a whole sentence or it's a fragment, it should take the place. It is in place of jar, in the place of a jar ism, right? There could have been marijin mubinin. Marijin mubinin. So instead of mubinin, you have min narin. So isn't it going to be called fi mahalli jar because it took the place of something that was supposed to be jar here? Yes? Yes or no? It does take the place, and that, the terminology for that is fi mahal, and it took me several sessions to make it clear to my students, and inshallah you will also all learn. If they have learned, if I have learned, anyone can learn. You take me as an example, and let me tell you, I am a full-time physician. I am not born to a imam of masjid. My parents were not Arab speakers. Okay, if I can learn it, anyone can learn it. Okay, okay. So now this sentence is complete. Who are we learning about in verse 14 and 15? Who are we learning about, guys? Is it Ar-Rahman or who? Yes. So can we say that these whole sentence, these whole halakal insan min salsalin kal fakhar can be the khabar, is giving us a khabar for Ar-Rahman? Huh? Can we say that? Yes, yes, yes. It is the khabar for Ar-Rahman. It can be called the khabar for Ar-Rahman. And the same way, wow, through wow, a whole sentence is going to be connected to the first sentence. And this can also be put in the same bucket. These two can be put in the same bucket because of wow. Okay? They are going to be the wow, which is a connector. It's a harf atf. It's a connector. It connects, just like and in English. Okay? I went to school and he came too. So these two sentences, the both people did the same thing. So just like and, wow is connecting the two sentences, and those two sentences are going to be the khabar, can be the khabar for Ar-Rahman. Then comes فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. So I'm going to skip it for now because it's going to come 31 times. And this is the second time it is coming, and that makes your job easy, but I have to teach you a little bit more. So what do we see next in verse number 17? Rabbul Mashriqaini wa Rabbul Maghribaini. Rabbul Mashriqaini, just give me grammar for that. Okay. Rabbul Mashriqaini is an idafa. Okay, the grammar is Rabbul Mashriqaini is an idafa. Okay, number one is an idafa. And this is giving us something. There is something, you are getting something. He is, as if this verse is saying, he is the Rabb of two east and the Rabb of two west. Right? Right? Everyone with me? Ar-Rahman, Rabbul Mashriqaini wa Rabbul Maghribain. There cannot be any Rabb, no Malik, Khalik, Mudabbir, Mun'im, but Ar-Rahman. Yes or no? Yes. So this is, so Rabbul Mashriqaini, Rabb is rough in status. Rabb is rough in status. So can it be the khabar for Ar-Rahman? And my dear students, who have learned Murakkabe Atf? Type 1 if you have learned Murakkabe Atf. It's a very interesting fragment of grammar. It teaches us so much. Oh my God, it has so many usages that once you are well versed with this, you will see that how much more you can understand. So okay, it's just a simple fragment. It connects. When you are talking about it in terms of an ism, when you're talking about it, just considering connecting two isms, we'll just focus on that. Murakkab, when you say murakkab means a fragment. It's not a complete murakkabe atf. We are not just talking about something that is still not a complete sentence. It is think of it like murakkab nakis, which is just a fragment, more than a word, less than a sentence. And what it is, you are going to see it now. Can you see here? Hudan wa noor is a fragment. Yes? Two isms. How are they connected? Through waw. So in Murakkabe Atf, you will see two isms that will be connected through harf atf waw. Easy. And it's an incomplete sentence. Guidance and light. Guidance and light. Complete thought? No. If it is kalam naqis, it is murakkab naqis, it is it is a fragment. Okay, it is a fragment. Okay, so hudan wa noor, rabbul mashriqaini wa rabbul maghribaini, lord of two east and lord of two west. It is again an incomplete thought, but if I put ar-rahman, ar-rahmanu rabbul mashriqaini wa rabbul maghribaini, complete thought, yes or no? Jumla ismiya with ar-rahman mubtada, rabbul mashriqaini wa rabbul maghribaini are going to be, rabbul mashriqaini is going to be the khabar, waw atf, and the ism that follows the waw is going to be called ma'tuf. The first ism is called ma'tufun alayhi. Then comes your harf atf, which is waw, and the second ism, the ism that follows it, is going to be ma'tuf. Okay, the isms that are connected through atf to waw connector are called ma'tuf alayhi. The first name for the first ism is going to be ma'tuf alayhi, and the second ism is going to be ma'tuf. No rocket science, very simple. We are not going to teach you the whole, pharmacology here. It's a grammar class. It's a simple grammar class. Okay, so just take it easy. Okay, don't get overwhelmed. It's all good. Okay, and just remind yourself, if Sister Saima can do it, we can do it. Okay, so hudan wa noor. Only one thing in this fragment. Only one thing in this fragment is required for two isms is that they are going to follow each other in status. Okay. In every other fragment, there are other, inna, anna ka anna. What will happen to the ism of inna? Anna ka anna, layta la lakinna. They will be nasb. If I have bata kaf lam waw, man, an, fi, ila, ala, hatta, everything is going to be jar. If I have mudaf, if I have a word, light, no alif lam, and a word after it, what is it going to be? The word following it is going to be jar in status. If I have ismun ishara, musharun ilayhi, mawsoof wa sifa, all four properties are going to match, right? And musharun ilayhi is also going to have one al. The pointer fragment will have al. The pointer fragment, the pointers and the fragment that they make, ism ishara and mushar ilayhi, will have an al in most cases. Okay, so in this fragment, the only requirement is going to be both isms. It's not a requirement, it's just what happens in this fragment. Okay, just like inna is not a requirement for it to make that is what the inna is all about. Similarly, in case of murakkab atf, ma'tuf alayhi and ma'tuf will have to just match in one thing. The only one property that must be matching is their status must match. Am I clear? If now I asked you, what will be the status of huda? If you understood it, you will be able to tell me the status of huda, because they must match in status. Therefore, since nurun is fully flexible and it is with the matain, the status of huda is going to be marfu, and the dhamma in this case is implied because the word is ending in alif. So yeah, so it is rough in status. Is this clear, everyone? Yes. Implied rough status, or it is rough in status. Okay, so that will make your job easy when you know that words that are the isms that are connected through waw, they will share status. Okay, they will share status. Okay, I will, both parts are connected and this connector share status. Okay, is this clear? Now let me make my table pretty too. Oh, it's all jumbled up now. Okay, no problem. Let's see. I will fix it for you. Okay, so now come back. So you learned about Ar-Rahman, that Ar-Rahman did not only create insan, but he also created Jan, and how he created them differently. And then you know that your Rabb is not only the Rabb of Mashriq, but he is also the Rabb of Maghrib. And here Allah is teaching you he is Rabb of two Mashriq and two West. Okay, Mashriqaini, the number of Mashriqs here. Why I'm saying two? Where is this two coming from? It's a dual word. The ya is there. Very well done. The ya is there. Very well done. Very well done. Now learn verse number 19. Maraj al-Bahraini. Maraj al-Bahraini. And the part of the words, focus on that. Maraja, ism fail harf. Fail madin, jumla failure, very well done. Okay, right? Maraja is fail. Maraja, nasara, fataha. Just like that, daraba. Easy? Okay. Now comes, after the fail, you will look for a file. Who is the file? And that is easy too for you all. The fail only has 3 root letters. There is nothing coming after it. It is going to be a pronoun that is hidden. That is hidden pronoun, and it is this hidden pronoun, which is damir mustatir. This is the just an Arabic name for hidden pronoun, is huwa here. After huwa, you do look for outside doer, but not every huwa fail will have an outside doer. Yes or no? If you are all awake, type 1 and answer. Answer. I need an answer. Right? Not everyone will have an outside doer. Why would, and not everyone needs an outside doer. Okay. What does he do? So we are learning he mixes al-Bahrain. So al-Bahrain. Al-Bahraini. What's the status of the word? And what's the number of the word? Yes, it's a dual. It's a dual. It is Nasban status. In Jumla failure, it is going to be answering your what question, and it is going to be your mafulun bihi. Everyone with me. Yes. What did he merge? Perfect job. I'm enjoying this class today because I'm seeing more answers, and I'm seeing the new participants are answering, which makes it more fun. Okay. Now let's see. Al-Bahraini yaltaqayani. Now there is another thing here. Yaltaqayani. What are we seeing? Sister Faiza, Sister Diba, hold your horses. Let's do from the very beginning, like Sister Shamim has done. We are seeing Felun Mudari, Yaltaqiyani. There is no harjar here. Ya is the beginning. Ya is the beginning. Very well done. There is a dual something here. Okay. Number 1 job. Number 1. Ism fail harf. Let me figure that first. Okay. It is a fail which is failun mudari. It is a fail which is failun mudari. There's a sign of mudari in the beginning, which is ya. Right? Everyone with me so far. If you are not sleeping, type 1. The status of the fail. Now tell me the status of the fail. When fail mudari is there, you need to determine the status of the fail. And the fail status is rafin status is marfu bi sabutin noon, because there's a noon that is sabit there, that is qaim there, that is seen there. So I am going to call it mudare marfu. Now every fail has a file too. After determining the fail, the status, the right type, now I have to determine the file, and that is huma, and I am very impressed already that is the correct answer. And you can see this huma in the form of aliful isnain, the alif of dual. Okay, this huma, which means they too is being seen here in the form of alif, because sometimes the noon is not going to be there. If I make this light or lightest, or mansub or majzoom, this noon is going to be dropped. Yes or no? Right? I'm going to get rid of the noon if I have to make it mansub or majzoom, right? But alif is always going to be there. Why alif will remain and noon can drop? What is an answer? It is the file. And in Arabic, every fail has a doer, must have a pronoun. Some sister, please, sister, we can see you. Please stop your video because there are brothers here as well. Arhan Sheikh, Muhammad Arhan Sheikh, please let me. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Okay, so this alif is telling you, it is for the pronoun. It is the pronoun. So every fail in Arabic must have a pronoun. You cannot get rid of pronoun. Remember that, okay? So mudare marfu bi sabutin noon. Mudare is rough in status because it has a noon there. And then the doer is wal fa'il aliful isnain, right? No, and the doer is aliful isnain, this alif here. Okay. What is yaltaqiyani talking about? They two meet. Is it talking about Ar-Rahman? Is it talking about Al-Mashriqaini, Al-Maghribaini, or Al-Bahraini? Rivers, or the seas, the oceans, right? It is talking about Al-Bahraini. Now, if you have a proper ism, now I'm not talking about a common ism. You have a proper ism followed by Jumla failure. Can it be sifa? No, wrong. It can only be the hal. When you have a proper ism followed by Jumla, call that sentence the hal of that ism. Okay? Call that ism the hal, because this is the main concept. How you differentiate the hal from sifa? Before, we were seeing common ism followed by jar wal majroor or jumla or something. Now, al-bahraini, this al made it proper. This al made it proper when you have a proper ism followed by a sentence, and that sentence has a pronoun going back to this ism. That sentence is going to be the hal of the ism. The jumla failure here is going to be not the sifa, it's going to be the hal. It's telling you how are these two C's, how are the condition of the two C's. Why am I calling it hal? For hal, your sahibul hal. For those of you who have learned hal, must have learned your sahibul hal must be proper. And when you learn complex sifa and waw sifa, in that case, you must learn that for a sentence to be a sifa, the ism must be common. Ism must be common, like kitabun anzalnahu. In that case, when I showed you the slide of complex sifa, did you notice kitab was common or proper? This kitab was common, right? Or when I talked about yawm, that yawm was common. Yes or no? Everyone? Yes or no? It was common. That is why the sentence following them were their sifas. But when you have a ism that is proper, now your ism is proper. When you have an ism that is proper and the sentence follows it, that sentence is going to be the hal. Here you can see an-nabiyina mubashirina. Hal can also be of three types, just like sifa. It can be mufrad ism, like mubashirina wa munzirina, just come up as one ism. Mufrad can be plural too, but come up as a one ism, not a jumla, not jar wal majroor or zarf. Okay? Faba'athallahu nabiyina, and Allah sent prophets. How were the prophets sent? What was the condition of prophets? They were ones who do the job of giving good news and job of giving inzar. Okay? So mubashirina wa munzirina. Summa wallaytum. Then you all turned away. So you all, is it common or proper? When I say you all turned away, it's proper because why is it proper? Why is it proper? Do you know these people? Because a pronoun is proper, right? You don't know them, but yeah, because of the context, if you have read the tafsir, you will know who are being talked about. But the reason for this is because all your pronouns are proper, right? All your pronouns are proper. Pronouns are always proper, and therefore you can see mudbirina is coming up as a hal. When you see a sentence coming up as hal, you will see man amila solihan min zakarin aw unsa. Whoever does righteous deeds, be it a man or a female, wahuwa mu'minun. Now the hal is a whole sentence. Huwa mu'minun, while he is a believer. Amila has a pronoun in it, which is huwa amila, right? If I asked you who's a doer in amila, everyone will jump on to tell me huwa, right? And that huwa is going to be described as while he is a believer. So huwa is proper. So now the sentence that comes after something, after an ism that is proper, it's going to be Jumla Haliya. It's not going to be the sifa for huwa. Okay? Again, وَجَاءُوا آبَاءَهُمْ إِشَاءٌ يَبْكُونَ. They came to their father at night time crying. Yabkuna. They were crying while they were crying. This is describing the condition of who? Who remembers the story of Yusuf? This is Mudare. This is the brothers of Yusuf who came crying. Wow is the doer here. They came crying. And you can see this sentence because Ja'u and they came. Ja'u has a pronoun which was wow. They came. This wow was a pronoun. And you even if you don't know which is a pronoun, wow, if you don't know the wow is the pronoun, even when you translate it as they came. They is a pronoun that you know. So they is proper because it is a pronoun, and yabkuna is describing the condition. So when you have an ism that is proper and a sentence describes it, that sentence is going to be jumla haliya, or that's going to be al hal. And al hal is always what in status? Hal is always going to be, remember, it's always going to be nasbin status. And hal, when it comes as a mufradism, is always going to be, when it is just a mufradism, it's going to be like this, mubashirina, munzirina, it's always going to be common. Remember that. Hal by itself is common, but the person who's being described, whose condition is being described, is always going to be the entity whose condition is going to be described is always going to be proper. Remember that. So few things about al-hal. The one who is going to be described is called sahibul hal. It's going to be proper. The condition, if it is a single word, it's going to be commonism, and it will match in number and gender with whatever it is describing. So an-nabiyina mubashirina, matching in number, matching in gender. I need answers. Wallaytum mudbirin, matching in number, matching in gender. Yes, they are doing that. They will not match in type because sahibul hal must be proper, hal is common. In case of mufradism, that condition must be met. When it is a jumla, then it's you don't need to worry about it. And again, it can be a shubu jumla, which can be jar wal majroor, that we can see kal alami. And we will come to this word, so then we'll inshallah go over it and you will understand it. But remember, the entity whose condition is being described is always going to be proper. Okay? Is that clear to each and every one of you? You are not going to call yaltaqiyani as sifa for al-bahraini. You are going to call it al-hal. And the status of this sentence.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, my very dear students. So please wait. I think for some reason, Sister Saima got disconnected. So inshallah, she will be joining back. But in the meantime, what we are going to think about is, what did we just learn? So you have learned, whenever you see a commonism, okay? So commonism, give yourself a pause. Commonism is going to be followed by its sifa, okay? So commonism, you bring in your mind the concept of Mausuf Sifa, commonism. Once you see a properism, no Mausuf Sifa concept should come if you are seeing sentences after them, okay? So in that case, you are going to think about Hal, okay? So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I'm very glad to see the new students are typing and they are participating really well in class. Very, very, very proud of you. whenever if you get stuck at any Arabic vocab, please type. Let us know. I am going to translate that for you as much as I can. Okay. I don't know much Arabic as Sister Saima knows, but inshallah, I'll try my best to help you. So, inshallah, what we are learning is how to connect one ayah to another, commonism followed by sentences, or a single ism, which is called mufrid, fard, yeah, fard. Mufrid ism, which is the single ism, that is my mawsoof sifa. When you see a proper ism, then you are going to think about that sentence as the hal of that particular ism. Also, when we talk about hal, as Sister Saima was mentioning, it's nasb status, yeah, nasb status, and it's usually common. Your ism is usually common, but when you look at sahibul hal, yeah, but the one whose hal is being described, that entity is always proper. Okay, sometimes you clearly see that entity, sometimes you are actually seeing that in a form of pronouns. And pronouns, whatever they are, whether they're attached pronoun or independent pronouns, they're always proper. Okay, so inshallah, we are going to keep that in mind and remember the beautiful example from Surah Yusuf. And I am going to take a little pause. I'm going to make you guys think, look at the ayahs again, inshallah, and let me check with Sister Saima what is happening on her side, okay? So, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, my dear students. While we are waiting for Sister Saima to join, inshallah, she'll be joining soon. I am really wondering if our new students have any questions so far. Okay, so new students. Our old students, alhamdulillah, they have been doing well, but really want to hear from new students. There is Brother Abdul Aziz, and I'm seeing Sister Afshan, then I'm seeing Brother Alkans is familiar to us. Then Anab, any question, anything that was like if you didn't get, you didn't understand, just let me know. Anything. And I'm also looking at the chat box, so if there is any questions, you can type there. Yes, my dear Sister Rabia. Okay. Okay, same size, Sister Saima is logging in. Yes, my dear Sister Nazneen, what is your question? Can you explain?
I couldn't write all that what I wanted to know. Like Sister Saima, she uses a lot of Arabic terminology.
Yes, sister, yes.
And
So,
like what we studied with Brother Ustad Noman, he said
yes.
everything in English. So do you have like a compilation of all that, all the vocabulary or terminology in a one video or something like that?
Sister, inshallah, this is what we are going to talk about, inshallah, in tomorrow's session. And my dear sister, you will notice the terms that we are using, meaning be, sabutin, noon, meaning be, sabutin, noon, because noon is sabit. You are, inshallah. We really don't want to translate everything, each and every word for you. Reason being, we really want to train your minds, okay? So
right. Inshallah, because this is my Surah Rahman was the first time that I joined Sister Saima's sessions. So for that, it's all sounding very new, and I'm kind of getting familiar with it every time that I'm hearing her.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And inshallah,
I think we can keep it for tomorrow, inshallah. But let's just finish where we stopped, right?
Okay.
I'm so sorry for interrupting.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So we were Sister Faiza, we did until Yaltakiyani, or did you do another verse as well?
No, we were actually were revising few little concepts, and inshallah, you're going to start from where
20.
you live.
Okay,
Yes.
sure. So everyone now understands Yaltaqiyani is going to be hal for al-Bahraini. Is it easy or no? Yes. And why are we not calling it sifa? Because al-Bahraini was proper, right? It was proper. Therefore, you're going to call it hal for al-Bahraini. And the status of this sentence is going to be, what's going to be the status? Every hal is going to be either nasb or it is going to take the place of nasb. So in that case, you are going to call in the place of nasb or fi mahalli nasbin. Okay. Then comes your next sentence, verse number 20, which is bainahuma barzakhun, bainahuma barzakhun, la yabghiyani. Are there one? Is this verse made up of one sentence or there are two sentences there? What do you think? There are two sentences there. So everyone, two locked. Should I lock it? Okay. Sister Aisha, are you saying one? Or are you going? Okay, you are saying that, yes. Okay, perfect. So let's do the first sentence. Bainahuma barzakhun. Jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya? Jumla ismiya. Bainahuma is going to be mutalik bil khabar, and that mutalik bil khabar has been brought forward. Barzakhun is going to be mubtada, and that is muakhar. And everyone has been familiar with mutalik bil khabar, muqaddam, mubtada, muakhar. If something has been brought forward, it is called muqaddam, that it has been brought before. And if it has been delayed, if something has been delayed where its position was to be the first in sentence, but it has been delayed, it will be called muakhar, and barzakhun is going to be muakhar, mubtada, muakhar. Mubtada here we see is common. Is it allowed for it to be common? Is it permissible for it to be common? Barakallahu fiqh. We have learned it in our musawwigatul ibtida bin nakira that if mutalik bil khabar comes before, and mubtada is delayed, it is allowed for mubtada to be common. And we are seeing here mubtada is common here, right? You are not going to now write a full story of 170 pages. Why is it common? Why is it common? No, it's allowed for it to be common. Okay. So bainahuma barzakhun. One sentence, it's a jumla ismiya. Now come on and do la yabghiyani. What is la? Ism fail harf. Is it ism fail harf? La nafiya. It is harf. It is harf. Okay. Yabghiyani. What is yabghiyani? It is jumla fi'liya. Very well done, my dear students. Okay, so la yabghiyani, it's fail mudare. Very well done. And you see, what is the sign of mudare? What is there that tells you, okay, I disagree with you. Okay, ya is there, so now I agree that you know that there is a ya there, which is alamatul mudare, and which is making it mudare. Barakallahu fi. Is it marfu, mansoob, or majzoom? Is it lightest or rough in status? It is rough in status because noon is still there. It is marfu in status because noon is still there. It is marfu because there is noon there. Okay, if it was omitted, then there was another story. Who is the doer here? Yabghiyani. Aliful isnain is the doer here. Barakallahu feek. And if I asked you the status of alif, what will be the status of this alif? If it's a doer, every doer is going to be a rough in status. Every hidden pronoun, every inside pronoun that you call inside pronoun is going to be rough in status. Please note that if you have not already familiarized yourself with that, because every doer is going to be rough in status. Every naibul file is also going to be rough in status. Yes or no? That you all have learned. Every program teaches that. There is no rocket science. There's no difference in opinion between the scholars that naibul file is no. Yeah, there may be a science behind it, but everyone agrees that it's going to be a rough in status. La yabghiyani has a pronoun huma. If you say it has a pronoun huma, which is visible in terms of alif, the status of that huma or alif is a rough in status. Now, what is this talking about? These two, bainahuma, these two sentences. Who are they talking about? Are they talking about the Al-Bahraini or Al-Rahman or Al-Mashriqaini, Al-Maghribaini, that they between Maghrib and Mashriq there's a barzakh, or there's they meet and they transgress, not they transgress, they are all talking about Al-Bahraini. So this Jumla Ismiya that you are seeing, Bainahuma Barzakhun, can this Jumla Ismiya become Hal for Al-Bahraini? Can it be the Hal for Al-Bahraini? Yes, because Al-Bahraini is not, they don't only meet, there is between them a barrier. Their condition is such that there's a barrier between them. La yabghiyani, they don't cross their limits. They stay within their limits. They don't transgress. They don't cross their bounds. Is this sentence, the next sentence, these two sentences in verse number 20 describing Al-Bahraini? Yes or no? If they are describing, because Al-Bahraini was proper, you are going to call these two sentences also Hal for Al-Bahraini. The status of Bainahuma Barzakhun is going to be now, if it's a Hal is always Nasbin status. So it's going to be Fi Mahalli Nasbin, in the place of Nasb, right? Fi Mahalli Nasbin is right answer, or Nasbin status, I'm going to take it as a correct answer as well. Not always. Wow, Halia is not there. Good question. You have a pronoun that is making the connection. Sometimes, if that is there, you can still call it Hal. Not every Jumla Ismiya needs to have Wow Halia in the beginning. For those of you who are advanced students, remember, if there is a pronoun in the sentence that can connect to Sahibul Hal, which is Al-Bahraini, you don't always need to have Waw Halia. Okay? Huma is there, that is telling you, that is making the connection. So you don't need Waw Halia here. Not every sentence will have Waw Halia. Every Jumla Ismiya will have Waw Halia before it. Okay? I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. If it is, type 1. Okay. Because you have a pronoun here, Huma. There's a pronoun Huma here, which is helping you connect this sentence to the first sentence. So you don't always have to have Waw Halia. Okay? So keep that in mind. Then comes, you are again skipping verse number 21, go on to verse number 22, and you only have 2 minutes. Jumla Ismiya, Jumla Fi'liya. Yakhruju min huma al-lu'lu'u wal marjan. It is Jumla Fi'liya. Fail is yakhruju. Can it have an outside doer now? Fail Mudari. Alamatul Mudari being ya. Outside doer is al-lu'lu'u wal marjan. Al-lu'lu. What kind of how is it connected to al-marjan? What kind of a fragment are you seeing? And you just learned it in this session. It's a murakkabi atf. Okay? They are both matching in status. They must match in status. Matuf alayhi and matuf. Are they matching in status? Yes. That's the only requirement for this fragment. Another requirement is there must be harf atf. That's why you are going to call it fragment atf, right? Connector fragment. Because there must be something that must be connecting these two isms. And there is waw atf there that is connecting these two sentences. And the pearls and the corals come out from these two. What is this verse talking about? Is it talking about Ar-Rahman, Al-Bahraini? Is it talking about Al-Jan? What should be the status of the sentence if you have to connect it back? How can you connect? Fi mahalli nasbin. Why fi mahalli nasbin? Again, a hal for Al-Bahraini. Can it be the hal for Al-Bahraini? Yes or no? All conditions met? Yes, it can be. I will. I think we will hold our. We will do it till here. I want you to know about a very special kind of a plural. I will end you with that. Or no, actually, I have to go over those vows. There were 4 vows that we did not cover. Is it okay if I do those? No, I already it's already 1. I will end the session here. Inshallah, in our next session, we'll continue with this. Let me stop the recording and let me take the questions now. Stop recording. Okay.